In today's story, we delve into the heartbreaking and tragic fate of Yurika Matsuno, a Japanese student whose dreams of international experience were cruelly cut short in Romania. Yurika Matsuno was born in 1991 in Hyogo Prefecture, Japan. From an early age, she was known for her vivacious spirit and her warm, engaging personality. She made a lasting impression on those around her, becoming popular among her peers. This charisma and leadership were recognized when she was elected as the school queen upon her entry into a prestigious university in Tokyo. As she entered her second year of university, Matsuno's ambition to make a mark in the world became apparent. She discovered an opportunity through a renowned international student organization, the largest nonprofit student group globally. This organization offered various internships and volunteer opportunities abroad. Matsuno, with dreams of becoming a flight attendant, saw this as a golden opportunity to enhance her English skills and gain firsthand experience living in a different country. Driven by her aspirations, she eagerly applied for the internship program. On August 14th, 2012, Matsuno's dream of an international internship began to take shape. Her assignment was to teach Japanese in Romania as part of a language volunteer program. Before beginning her stint in Romania, she had planned a brief sightseeing tour of Vienna, Austria, departing from Narita Airport in Japan. Following her enjoyable tour of Vienna, Matsuno was set to fly to Bucharest, Romania. At Bucharest Airport, she was supposed to meet a representative from the internship program, who would then escort her to Craiova, a city in southwestern Romania. Matsuno's social media was abuzz with her excitement and nervousness about the new chapter in her life. She tweeted about the thrilling prospect of her overseas internship and how it felt like a once in a lifetime opportunity. However, upon her arrival in Vienna, her plans began to unravel. The flight to Bucharest was delayed significantly, causing it to land well past midnight. This delay meant that no one would be available to greet her at the airport. Faced with this predicament, Matsuno had to navigate a solitary 3-hour bus ride to Craiova. Traveling alone in a foreign land, especially late at night, was a daunting experience. When she arrived at Bucharest Airport, her situation became even more precarious. The last bus had already departed, leaving her stranded at the airport in the dead of night. With fear and uncertainty gripping her, Matsuno faced a difficult choice: stay at the airport until morning when the buses would resume, or take a taxi to Craiova, a journey she had not planned for. While she was outside the airport, a man named Vlad Nikolai approached her. Nikolai identified himself as a porter from a nearby hotel and offered to drive her to Craiova, noting her distress and vulnerable situation. Matsuno was understandably hesitant, but was reassured by Nikolai's assurances. He promised that he was trustworthy and had no ill intentions. Given her dire circumstances and limited knowledge of the language, Matsuno chose to trust him, believing that a hotel porter would likely be a safer option. CCTV footage captured the moment Nikolai approached her, and the two walked together to his car with her luggage. Unfortunately, Nikolai did not keep his promise. Instead of heading towards Craiova, he drove in the opposite direction. He stopped the car in a remote wooded area about 5 minutes from the airport, near an isolated bus stop. He suggested that it would be better for her to wait there for the next bus. As soon as Matsuno got out of the car, Nikolai attacked her. Despite her desperate attempts to escape, she was subjected to a brutal assault. He severely beat her, inflicted numerous injuries, and ultimately strangled her. After leaving her lifeless body in the woods, he fled the scene. Back home, Matsuno's family grew increasingly worried as they were unable to reach her for 2 days. They contacted the organization managing her internship, but no one there had information about her whereabouts. This lack of information prompted them to report her as missing to the authorities. On August 17, 2012, Matsuno's body was discovered in a wooded area near Bucharest Airport. The state of her body was horrifying. Her face had been brutally beaten, swollen, and her eyes had ruptured, with lenses missing. Her sternum and ribs showed signs of severe external trauma, and her thigh muscles were extensively damaged. The Romanian police informed Japanese authorities about the discovery. Matsuno's family rushed to Romania to deal with the aftermath of the tragedy. An autopsy was performed and her personal belongings were examined. Using GPS tracking, the police were able to determine that Nikolai had possession of her phone, leading to his swift apprehension. Tracking Nikolai proved to be relatively straightforward since he had stolen her phone and money, which he had kept at his home. The authorities utilized airport CCTV footage, DNA evidence from her body, and bite marks that matched Nikolai's DNA. This evidence led to him being charged with the crime. Further investigation revealed that Nikolai had a history of similar crimes. Just 10 days before Matsuno's murder, he had robbed, raped, and killed a 73-year-old woman. Additionally, 5 months prior, he had committed similar violent acts against an elderly woman in her 80s. Although he had been arrested before, the lack of sufficient evidence had prevented charges. Further investigations revealed that Nikolai had been arrested for similar offenses in the summer of 2010, but those cases had been covered up. Disturbingly, there was a potential for around 600 other victims. The murder of Matsuno garnered significant media attention in both Romania and Japan, causing widespread outrage and criticism. The international organization responsible for her internship faced severe backlash for failing to ensure her safety. Critics argued that the organization should have provided appropriate transportation and support to prevent her from being stranded at the airport late at night. Initially, the organization did not issue an apology or explanation. Eventually, they released a statement indicating that they would refrain from further comments, respecting the wishes of Matsuno's family. The tragedy led to substantial changes in the internship program, which now includes more carefully coordinated schedules to prevent similar situations. Furthermore, the Romanian police faced criticism for allowing Nikolai to roam free despite his known criminal history. Many argued that if the authorities had conducted thorough investigations and acted upon his previous crimes, Matsuno's death might have been avoided. In the aftermath of Matsuno's murder, there was a public shift in both Japan and Romania, with some blaming her for accepting a ride from a stranger late at night. This perspective deeply affected her family. They stressed that Matsuno was well aware of the potential dangers in Romania and had initially been hesitant about the trip. However, the internship organization had strongly encouraged her to go, emphasizing her responsibility. 1 year after Matsuno's death, on March 7, 2013, Vlad Nikolai was sentenced to life imprisonment in Bucharest. Despite appealing the sentence, his life imprisonment was upheld, and he remains incarcerated to this day.